What is up, my hoes? This video is gonna be a little different than my other ones, but I've got some stories to tell, and I think y'all might enjoy them. And these are all stories about work. I've worked at a couple of places, but all the places that I've worked all have one thing in common, and that is they all have crazy stories. So yeah, prepare to take a look into the life of a mentally ill green bean. So the place I worked at with the most crazy stories was definitely this one small little cafe I used to work at as a cashier. Most of the time I would be doing stuff in the back like dishes or cleaning, but I was kind of the designated cashier of the place, so I had a lot of interactions with customers, and quite a few of them were pretty crazy. There's this one time a guy came into the cafe and he came up and ordered his coffee, as you do, but he was wielding a fucking crowbar. This guy just came in and ordered his coffee while he had a crowbar. He just brought it in with him. He didn't even leave it outside or anything. He just brought it in. And thankfully I only noticed that he had it when he was leaving. Well, maybe that's not a good thing. But yeah, he just ordered his coffee with a crowbar and tote and then left. The story doesn't end there though, because not 10 minutes later, a security guard comes in and he says, "Hey, yeah, there's this guy, kind of looks like Friar Tuck. He charged at me with a crowbar, so let me know if you see anybody like that." And I was just kind of shocked that an evil Friar Tuck came into the cafe, ordered a coffee, then charged someone with a crowbar. Dude has been playing too much Gmod, bro, acting like he's Gordon Freeman and shit. I'm just glad he didn't like threaten anyone else or me with it. I'm happy it wasn't like some low budget robbery where he pointed the crowbar at me and was like, put the money in a bag if you want to live. But that was definitely one of the most memorable customers I've had. Another time this guy came up to the counter and he seemed normal for the most part, but when he ordered a little pear and his treat, he told me that his name was Hercules. And shit, man, I bought it, bro. At the time I thought he was for real, and I said, that's an awesome name. Because, like, honestly, dude, that's a sick name. Who wouldn't want to be Hercules? That's amazing. And after I rung him up, he just kind of stood there, not moving. So I asked if there was anything else he would like to get, and he just kind of shuffled a little bit. And I just assumed that he didn't want anything else, so I told him to have a nice day. And he says to me, "Thanks, Justin." Which is pretty damn weird, considering my name is, in fact, not Justin. But even after thanking me, he still didn't leave. He still just kind of stood there, all awkward like. And so I told him to have a nice day again and thanked him for his service, but he still did not move. And this time he said, "Thanks, Mom." And this one definitely caught me off guard. And I just kind of looked down and processed what he had just said. And after being called Mom and Justin, I kind of realized that he just kind of called people different shit, including himself. But after that, he finally left the cafe. And 30 minutes later, a lady came up to the register, said that she saw Hercules steal something. I then remembered seeing him take a little fruit bowl when he came in, but he never paid for it. I just assumed he had put it back, but when I looked over, I realized that there was definitely a fruit bowl missing. I guess that's probably why he was acting so awkward about it when I asked him if there was anything else he'd like, because he might have thought I was onto him or something, but I hadn't even noticed until someone told me. He was stealthy as fuck about it. This guy must have completed the entirety of the Thieves Guild questline in Skyrim, bro, because he was pulling some mad slab hand shit. And as nutty as customers can be, I've also had some weird stories with coworkers as well. The most memorable was this one time I was just portioning out some meat with a coworker, we'll call her Doobie. And I look over and I see that Doobie has cut herself while slicing some onion. And she goes over and washes her hands. And while she does, another one of my coworkers, let's call her Meg, she comes in and she says to Doobie, "I don't want you severing another artery." And after that, I just kept portioning meat because I didn't even know what to say to that. Like, how in the hell do you even do that? How do you accidentally sever an artery at work? Especially if you work in a cafe. Thankfully, she's okay now, but geez, man. Shit's nuts. So yeah, that's all the crazy stories I could remember for the cafe I used to work at, but I still got some other places I worked at. Before I worked at a cafe, I worked at Chipotle for a few weeks. And I say worked in the loosest sense possible since I didn't even get trained after 2 weeks of working there. On my supposed first day of work, I came in and my manager told me, "Yeah, so today you're just gonna learn how to clean stuff, and then tomorrow we'll train you on the register and how to do customer stuff, okay?" I was like, "Alright, sounds good to me." So that day, I learned how to clean the restaurant, and then I left. And I came back the next day ready to learn how to work a full day. But when I got there, my manager told me, "Hey, could you just do the same cleaning stuff you did yesterday? And then tomorrow we'll learn about the register and stuff." I was like, "No, yeah, that's totally fine." So for the next 2 hours, I cleaned the restaurant, and then I went home. Now, the next day, I was fully prepared to learn how to serve customers like a boss. But yet again, when I asked if I would be trained today, I was just told to clean for the day. And the same thing went on for 2 whole weeks. I would come in just to be debated and told to be clean. So I just quit after 2 weeks of not being trained. I also hadn't been given like a schedule or anything as well after 2 weeks, so I didn't even know when I was supposed to come into work. I mean, at the very least, I was able to clean stuff, and it became second nature to me, or so I thought. One time, I was cleaning the windows, and I looked down, and I realized that I had cleaned the windows with degreaser. And I'm not sure if you know this, but degreaser is not what you're supposed to clean the windows with. It's used for degreasing, believe it or not. So that was definitely an oopsie poopsie I did. Those are some of my interesting work stories. I hope you guys still enjoyed the video, even if it was a little different. I know I definitely enjoyed doing a little animation and might do more of it in the future if you guys would like to see more. Thank you for watching my hoes, and I will see you all in the next video. Okay, bye.